welcome to your Moon and Sagittarius reading. This reading is going to be taking a look at the dates of February 14th to February 16th. But as you know, say it with me, these readings are timeless and signless, so it doesn't actually matter what I just said water. Okay, wow. It actually doesn't matter what your placements are astrologically or when you're accessing the video. If it's here and you're vibing with it, then there's something in there for you. If something doesn't resonate, or especially if it gives you a sense of indignation or some type of emotion that's strong, then there's something there for you. You just need to wait and allow it to unfold so that it can make itself known to your conscious mind, right? Because we're out here reading energy. That means the energy's here. Now, if you'd like to work with me, ding, you know exactly where to find me. Yay! On Etsy, yay! Also, V-Day's coming up. Oh, yeah, right? Valentine's Day or Galentine's Day, or what are the other single awareness day? Where are you at on the spectrum? I don't know. But either way, I would like to let you know that, as you know, I do offer love readings, particularly the Swan Rose love reading, 1 minute 11 seconds, which is pretty awesome. And if you're interested in looking at that, you can talk about any person. We can take a look at how the two of you relate together, what's going on, and it'll be an hour-long reading. God bless, super in-depth, how I do it. And no, you don't have to be in an actual relationship with this person in order to get the reading, although that would be great, right? Could be an ex, somebody you're interested in. Also, if you are not really even concerned about romance, or if you are, but you have more than one person in mind, this could be about any family member, any relationship at all. If you're interested, I also offer soul contracts reading, which is pretty awesome. That's the one that I'm like, I wish people would order more, because I would be all over that if it were for me. And so in that reading, I can look at up to 3 additional people and how their contracts relate with yours. So anyway, all of that lovely information is on my site. But you know how we do. We're here for the task at hand, and we're going to be taking a look at how your energies within the collective will be swirling and moving as this moon, 2 minutes, 22 seconds, moves through the sign of Sagittarius, okay? And I heard them say Aquarius, just to remind you that we're still being heavily influenced by Aquarian energies, at least this collective that I'm reading for. All right, so wow, that was a long spiel. Now notice that some different cards wanted to come out. These two were single-handedly like, put us in, coach. And these cards right here, these cards I don't pull out unless because they come in, they're like, boom, let's get it done. They're not snuggly, they're not whatever. They come in, they get it done. And these ones are bringing some codes and whatnot. And then this deck I think is pretty interesting. All right, so the bell is tolling. Let's get started. Ding, ding, ding. Well, let's start with these. Let's put those to the side for a second. These feel very Aquarian, by the way, for whatever reason. The one on the left. All right, so thank you guys. It was a long opening. I like to just jump in. What's going on with the collective right now? Heavy Aquarius energies still being felt right now. I'm feeling it. A lot of you guys, let's talk for a little bit. You have me putting my glasses on. I'm feeling energetically, it's almost like being in a box. A lot of you may be feeling really boxed in right now. The question is, what material, 3 minutes, 44 seconds, is the box that you're in? And what created it? Well, obviously we know you created it on some level, but let's take a look at it a little bit. Your job is to think, what is the box that I've placed myself in? If you're 100%, if you're not yet at 100%, you're going to say, what is the box that other people have put me in? And if you're welcome here, have a seat, you're like, what box, right? Either way, there's a box around you. And right now you're being called to take a look at it, inspect it. What does this box allow me to do? What does it make me feel like? What does it make other people think about me or feel about me? Where has it gotten me into trouble? Is this more like a Pandora's box that's happening around me? Is this more like a free thinking box? Did I think I left the box, but I'm actually still in the box? What's happening? So this is what you're being called to do right now. And it's very interesting because I'm getting like a cube, right? A cube, which is a 3-dimensional box. And it's almost like I'm getting boom, 4 minutes, 44 seconds, boom, like the sides of these boxes, boom, boom, falling down. And then what's left? The top of the box and the bottom. Now, cool, the bottom is important, right? But the question is, well, what's going on at the top? If all these other sides have fallen, is the sky going to fall in on me? So let's look at that energy dynamic. The question is, what have you gotten yourself into this time? Is the question. Someone's grandmother is laughing because it's like, oh my gosh. And could very well be mine, because I always get myself into hijinks and I'm just like, ooh, look at these cards. Yikes. Okay. So we have the Seven of Swords cards with there's some type of business transaction or some type of, the word I'm getting is conglomeration, which is for somebody, I don't know how that's manifesting in your life, but there's some type of interaction, something that was going on in your life that caused a lot of stress, pain, endorsements I'm getting. So that's possibly that could have been an energy that happened, like you getting endorsements as a result of somebody leaving or somebody creating chaos. This energy is on its way out. See, look at that, the Chariot card. And for a minute there, I looked and I was like, is this your energy or is it that person's energy? Because see the mirroring, it looks like this person is heading out 6 minutes, 6 seconds. As we know, Six of Swords is all about moving onward to something better. And then we have this person standing here, and the question is, who was that? And that's the answer here the question is this me, you the person, or is this the other person leaving? The answer is both. That's why he's got 2 feathers in his hat. When you're operating at 100%, you realize, okay, this occurred in my life with this person or this entity or this institution or whatever. But I know that the truth is there's something in me that this situation is benefiting. Oh, I was going to say reflecting, and the word benefiting came out. But on a very simplified level, of course it's going to benefit you in some way. People may struggle and they may get up in arms and indignant about this idea that we are liking or enjoying or allowing, maybe whatever word helps you to sleep better or make you feel better about looking at your agency in a situation, go with it. But let's say people will only allow what they're okay with allowing. And that's what gets a lot of people upset, because they're like, why would I allow this? I wouldn't allow him to do that to me and her to do this and my boss. I'll tell you what, if some random homeless guy that you didn't know, who didn't shower in like 40 days and nights and was drunk and stumbling up to you, did to you exactly what all these other people you were just saying did, you would be up in arms. You would be doing a lot. But when these other people do it to you, you allow it. So hence, you allow it, right? And so I think a lot of times people don't realize how they're actually creating their own reality. And it's a big ask if they can't even allow themselves to see how they're allowing these little things that they'd rather pawn off on other people as being the agents for. We allow only what people, we're okay with allowing to do to us. You got my point. I'm just like, we're out here, right? And so let's take it a step further. You'll only allow to be done to you that which you already do to yourself in a non-physical way. Now you may be like, Jay, stop your lies. And I'm like, okay, but what's going on? And then you may list A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I never did that to myself. These people did that. And then when I go into your beautiful, beloved energy field, which I love, God bless, super hugs, then we're just pointing stuff out. This, that, this is a pattern that you have. And you could see it in this connection and that connection and that connection and that connection. And we could see it in the way that you deal with yourself in this, that, and the other. And we could see it in your energy field around age 8. And we see it again, rearing a different face, but same thing at age 46. You see, we're seeing these energies. The problem is you're not seeing these energies. Here. Oh, speaking of, let's move on to the next card. Look. But that's why you call in somebody outside of yourself. And I'm not saying it has to be me, because it doesn't have to be. If Spirit wanted to send a bus with the message on the side of it, they will. When we say step outside of yourself, the number one thing you should be doing is calling on who? Yay! God, your higher self, your guardian angels, your spirit team. They are helping you, right? And there are so many ways to connect with your team. Journaling, art, Some people like to take long walks, some whatever, knitting. You can also, they may send you to people like me, hi, friendly local readers, yay. Other people, maybe a local religious person that you respect and who has some great stuff to offer you. Maybe a trusted 10 minutes, 10 seconds, 10 minutes, 10 seconds, 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 seconds, yeah. Friendly family member that spirit would co-sign on, because not all the people in your life should be giving you advice. They may be well-meaning, but, come on. Can they do your taxes? You know what I mean? So why would you expect them to be able to, give you advice on your marriage or your life? So look at what's happening. Spirit is saying when we allow ourselves to stay in a fit of rage, quote unquote, when we allow ourselves to stay in a fit of rage, that keeps us stuck. But what does it keep us stuck in? It keeps us stuck in only a certain number of potential timelines, responses, realities, reactions, whatever you want to say. So look at how she's super cute, but in her 8 of Swords there, blindfolded, blinded by rage. 11 minutes, 11 seconds. A lot of us carry rage underneath, and we don't understand that. We don't believe it. And because we're not very much trained to identify the ways that rage manifests in our life from an energetic to physical point. A lot of us can't even notice its fingerprints in terms of psychology, right? We can't even note how it feels in our body when we're enraged about something. So Spirit is saying that's why it's very, very important to be able to reflect. So, for example, we see her blinded by her rage here, and she's got all of these things around her that she just can't see. It leads her to being stuck, and that being stuck is being stuck at only a certain level of expression, which only allow expressing her energy, interacting with the world, which only, and it limits the amount of actions, 12 minutes, 12 seconds, that would appeal to her. So someone saying, hey, why don't you just call this person up that you're upset about and explain your feelings? No, why would I do that? I'm not giving them one more time, or no, they would never understand. And you see how now we've got one less option. Some of these things can't even some of these options can't even make their way through your friend to be told to you, because you're just so in one mindset that your friend can't even flow in through your friend energetically to you. So you see, there are so many options that people have available to them, but one of the most important things to do is to, number one, recognize what's going on around you, situational awareness. Number two, recognize that at the bottom of it all, regardless of how you choose to tell the story, because you have to tell the story first, right? But then you have to move out of the story. And a lot of people don't. But at the end of it, at the bottom of it, it's always you. Energetically, whatever's going on between you and you, 13 minutes, 13 seconds, is going to be reflected outside upon somebody else. It's the same dynamic, different form. Okay, quick example. The major energy that Spirit has been revealing to a lot of people right now is their aggression and bullying nature. Now, a lot of people will be like, I'm not a bully, I'm not this, I'm not that, but yet they bully themselves. So let's say that this person, they could be whoever, they just had this interaction with their bullying family member, or bullying significant other, or bullying whatever, and they're upset. Could even be somebody out on the street that they got into something with, and they're upset and blah, blah, blah. And then they may even go so far as to say, this is a pattern. Why does everybody bully me? Why does everyone whatever? And then when we sit down together and I'm like, oh, hey, I'm seeing like this bullying energy in your masculine or your feminine 14 minutes, 14 seconds expression. And I noticed that you tend to give this negative self-talk to yourself. This bullying manifests in your work like this, and it manifests also with your relationship with children. But interestingly, it doesn't manifest with your relationship with people at your same age, right? Because we're seeing how this energy is just emanating right out from you. And then it's going to be reflected in other people who are going to be a vibrational match. They're going to bully you until you realize, oh my God, I'm doing this to myself. Because that's when you'd be like, well, Jay, am I doing this? Yes, you are doing it. At the end of the day, you're always doing it to yourself. Do you ever sit down and realize, oh, you made a mistake and then you're really hard on yourself about something? Or did you ever realize how everything that you do, you always put it along, like you always rate it in terms of its success or efficiency or productivity? For some people, they're like, yeah, I know, that's me. I'm a perfectionist. Others, they're like, no, that's not my issue. My issue is that I'm always comparing my creativity with somebody else. And it's not even about perfect, because I actually pride myself on not being perfect, on bucking the system and doing my own thing. But when I see somebody else whose creativity is more quote unquote creative than mine, it makes me upset, right? Oh, well, that's because you're still judging yourself. If you weren't judging yourself in terms of whether you're producing something creative or not, then you wouldn't be able to even spot it outside of you. And because it's so active and it's such a point of consternation for you and how you treat yourself, it's magnified out there to the point that you see somebody else's painting and you're comparing yourself and your whole livelihood and your whole worthiness on what you see outside. That time, the person who painted that picture wasn't even thinking about you. They didn't even know you, right? And so you see, this is just a small example of how this person is bullying themselves inside, and then they go out and they project that duality onto the world. 16 minutes, 16 seconds. As I'm saying that, my neck is starting to hurt. So Spirit is like, yeah, it's kind of a pain in the neck. Yeah. Look at this. I just heard them say, you're crossed. So this is almost like saying, they're like, this is how we speak things into our existence. It's like if God is like, hey, you're like, hey, what would you like to experience when you go down here? What would you like to experience? Well, look around you right now. Look left, look right, look up, down, inside out. That's what you're speaking. So if you're speaking, I would like to cross myself for most of my life this time by pitting myself against myself, thereby pitting myself against others, thereby creating karma. Let's do it. But this time, let's do it through my art. Oh, this time let's do it through my appearance. Oh, this time let's do it through my job, right? Or my relationships, right? So they're like, why are you doing this to yourself? It's kind of like what one of the channeled messages were, the daily channeled messages were recently. It ended with pretty much them clapping. They're like, I put the claps in, but you got the point. It's like, stop breaking your own heart. Stop breaking your own heart with your own narratives. Your stories are flawed. You want to be a storyteller, then tell some stories that are for reals. Because all you're doing is creating your reality with your stories. Let's change our reality. I just split the deck. Let's go ahead and there. Now it's a whole different reality. Look, and they just hit this card. Yeah, this is kind of it's like a victory card. It's not the Six of Wands. The Six of Wands is for real victory. This is the victory card after a long, hard fight. Sometimes it's about not playing fair. It's about playing dirty, winning at all costs. You're winning, but, well, you feel good, you feel proud. But the energy that's being carried here with this, when I hit it, is like, hey, this is a hard-won fight. Get over your stuff. So we're looking at heavy karmic beliefs right now. I wouldn't even be surprised if 10 of Swords came out or 10 of Wands came out. Excuse me, because what we're working on is huge. Notice how I just coughed? It gives me this feeling like some of you are actively, I'm so active about it. I want to do this actively, because that's how they're doing. You're actively working on your voice, and on your voice meaning like I'm the and you are out of here because you but not saying it that way. And not coming from the ego. You're like, Jay, how could you spin that from a non-egoic place? This is not my job, okay? This is not my job. But my job is to tell you, Spirit is telling you and getting you and pushing you and forcing you and cajoling for some of you and boxing some of you in, just corralling you. These are all the different ways they're doing it. I'm feeling it energetically, the dynamics. They're getting you to see the writing on the wall. What's the writing on the wall, you ask? This guy's like, over there. And you're like, looking that way. The writing on the wall is that, I literally looked that way and there's a card. I was like, Spirit, where are you sending me with this? Where are you sending me with this? Express your inner truth. They're like, there. Was that so bad? Was that so bad that you, oh my God, that you talked about how you felt? When was the last time you really talked about how you felt? When was the last time that you really sang about how you felt? When was the last time you gave a good-hearted laugh and chuckle at how you're feeling? Why? Because you weren't taking it so seriously. Because you didn't feel that someone was trying to hurt you. See, when we feel that someone is trying to hurt us or attack us, it gives us this energy, huff and a puff. And so then we are no longer able to laugh things off. And that's why it's important to, boom, have the issue, whoa, feel the feelings, pause, think about it, meditate, reflect, contemplate, write it out, hit up your friendly local reader, that's me, talk to someone you trust and is objective, look through some old family photo books I'm being shown. Whatever your process is, give it a day or two, maybe 2 or 3 days, and then respond. Okay? That's different from boom, having the issue and then boom, having the reaction. In one of those scenarios, there's consciousness. When we become conscious and we become mindful, all that means is becoming aware that we're having an experience, understanding that it's just an experience, knowing that we're putting our projections onto that experience, giving ourselves time to feel it, taking the time to own our projections so that we can focus on resolution, then we can diffuse the situation, and then we can have the conversation if we even feel the need to. Because along the way of that reflecting, you might actually find, oh, they were right. Oh, my bad. And then you may have to have a situation where you make amends, where you give your apologies. But you may also find that you, along that way, you also realize, oh my God, I have been beating up on myself thinking I'm a loser. And oh my gosh, 22 minutes, 22 seconds. I was right. I was right. And I see that now, right? So you see, all we're doing is giving ourselves the chance to actually arrive at something, as opposed to just mindlessly reacting the way that we're being trained to react. And we see this all the time, the guides are saying. We see it all the time in gendered relationships, and even in just romantic relationships in general. But it's very, very heavy right now with feminine and masculine, regardless of what body you're in. It's kind of like this idea that, oh, if a guy says something and it's whatever, it's not what the girls would think, and I'm a girl, and you need to like back up, and you need to put some respect on my name, and oh, you said this, I'm out of here, I'm done. But then you're coming back to, man's like 3 a.m. 2 days later. Like, stop with all the weirdness. This is the point. Who's teaching all of people how to relate? A lot of people are learning how to relate with each other through their families. Oh no. Of course we know through friend groups, but this internet is a whole other thing. Look, okay, you're 12 to 15 to 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. But if you're in your mid to late 20s, your 30s, your 40s, you need to stop just listening to these, dichotomies that are being, these polar conversations that are being put out on the internet. Have you tried loving? Have you tried looking at things from another angle? There's such a huge emphasis right now, for example, on speaking your truth. We get it. Speak your truth. But it doesn't have to be one where you're coming with aggro energy. Here's my truth. I feel it. It's real. Other people say it. It's the thing of the moment. I have to say it because you're wrong. You're horrible. I'm going to cancel you. Da-da-da-da. This is so horrible, and it's really, really immature energy, right? And it's causing breakdowns. where the guides are just looking, and there's so many times where actually people could express themselves and have a decent conversation and get past it, and that's it. And so how many relationships have been murdered, so to speak, because of these harsh dynamics, or people are just on autopilot, responding, and not even responding, reacting out of the identity that they're picking up online, or picking up in their friend groups or family groups or cultures and subcultures. It's like, breathe, come back to yourself and be yourself. Too many people are not themselves. And you know it, because if I had to see the word baddie one more time and haughty and influencer and this and that and speak your truth, and yeah, you can do all of that, but you can still do it from a heart space, and you'll get more out of it, because the people who see that you're really about something and you mean it and it's coming from the heart space, they're going to cut their mess right away, or they're going to be cut and let go. It's plain and simple. But the more that we try to keep playing into these false tropes and identifying with them, I mean, it's rough. So during this time, Spirit is saying, take a look at yourself. What is the box that you're in? What do you do to construct that box? And you'd probably be surprised how mainstream you are. Well, you're probably not so mainstream if you're watching these videos, but there's are you watching the news every day? Are you reacting to something your friend said? Oh my God, look at this. Oh, could you believe this politician said that? Oh no, they're doing this now. This is a new policy. What's this going to be for us? And right? All you're doing is moving to the beat, the emotional beat that's been set for you. Oh, you see your friend with somebody new. Oh, we got to talk about this. This is a big deal. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, your brother or sister, they're getting a house. They're getting a new car. Well, this is a big deal. We got to talk about it. Check it out. I actually looked down. I thought I saw the devil card. And I looked down and it was like, then I moved. It really is there. So you see, Spirit is saying, be yourself. Stop confusing yourself. Because all of this is ridiculous. It's just, it's child's play. It's getting to the point, they're saying, it's getting to the point, it's a little bit of a chuckle, where it's almost like we have to say, have fun responsibly. I mean, we know, drink responsibly, tweet responsibly, but now we have to say, have fun responsibly, because people have fun online. It is fun online, we get it. But when you're starting to be entrained into a certain way, this is a problem. All right, so especially for this group, the guides are saying, because this group, you're here to do something different. You're supposed to be doing something different. It doesn't mean you can't do what the trends are and this and that. It's just a different mentality altogether, and there's a different engagement with the energies that you would be taking on. Why? So that you can lead and show. So let's see what else they'd like to talk about during this time. Yeah, I'm just still seeing a lot of confusion. Yeah, see? A lot of confusion. Not so much fits and starts. Fits and starts, it's funny because I'm seeing this just a cycle. It's a cycle. And then here we have the Hierophant and the Queen of Pentacles. It's like, look. See? Seven of Swords again. It's like, you know what the problem is here? There's a lot of strife, a lot of conflict. We have the influences of the moon. We have influence of the internet. We have all sorts of stuff. We have well-meaning intentions for ourselves to get started, to try new things. We're confused because what we have in our energy field is a conglomeration. There's that word again. Conglomeration of intentions that we want to put effort into, intentions that we have put efforts into, conditioning that we have in there from our past. We've got past life stuff, we've got unhealed wounds, we've got things our friends and family are saying. It's all here. So when you reach up to take some fruit or to enact upon something, what are you tuning into? You could be tuning into anything. But on top of that, you have your temptations. Look at the fire of the King of Wands. He's supposed to be moving forward. But look what he's looking back at. Here. So it's almost like when you have these strong energies of conflict, devil energies, another word wants to come out, decapitation is coming out, but I was going to say deception here. These are heavy energies to have in the field. So even though we have some nice joyful energies and working together, which he would like to turn to, it's so heavy back here. And so what good is the Fool card having a new beginning when you've got 1, 2, 3 constantly in your mind? Then we've got the moon and whatever's going on emotionally with you. Look what's coming in to pull you out of this cycle. Hope that wasn't too loud. The Hierophant. Okay? How do you get off this cycle of samsara? No, how do you get off this cycle? You look for something higher. Okay? So during this time, Spirit is bringing us back. Take a look at the box. What's in the box? Okay, I had to say that. Okay, if no one was thinking it, then what are you guys doing? Okay, what's in the box, man? What is in the box? You're in the box, but what is this box? And then ask for help so you can get out of the box. And not only to get out of the box, but to get out with some feeling, they're saying. Get out with some feeling. What's the feeling? Like, yeah. 3 minutes. No, 31 minutes, 11 seconds. That's 3. Collaboration, alignment, all of that. You're happy. I made it. Let's get going. What are we doing? What's next? Then you're not thinking about all this. Now, I am being called to bring in our Star Spinner Tarot. Star Spinner Tarot, they don't, I don't know, energetically, they don't come out that often. When they come out, they're like, all right, boom, boom, boom. There's no cozy feeling, no little heart buds. You want color? Too bad. Move on. Funny. Speaking of move on, look at all that. Oh my gosh. Oh, okay, we're just gonna let these go. We'll focus on this Nine of Cups. Oops. Love me. Okay, whatever. Oh, there we go. If that's not the ultimate moving on, let's do it. The Wheel of Fortune. Now, Spirit is saying for some of you to be able to move on. I always get really shy when they say something that I'm legitimately saying, but it sounds like a plug. But they're saying, because I just saw this. Look at the colors. Ding, ding, the pink. They're like, if you need help moving on energetically, some of you call me, because that's me. Okay. But thank you, Spirit. You guys are great. But they really said that because for some of you, you might need it. I'm getting maybe three of you. I don't know. Let me have a seat. I swear that's a chair. Can you still hear me though? Oh, maybe let's move this. Whoopsie doodles. Move this microphone. After these few messages. Oh my God. Sorry guys. Home studio much. All right. There we go. Put this microphone over here. All right. Didn't I say that the Star Spinner Tarot, they're just like boom, 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 and then look. Let's move all of this. Thanks, guys. They're so sweet. All right. All right, let's see what's going on. Oh, these energies are so loose right now. I kind of just want to be like, listen, Sagittarius, get yourself together. But I know you guys don't have to have Sagittarius placements, but this is the overlay that's happening. Right now, the energies are very scattered. So I would say, as your local reader, God bless, friendly local reader, make sure that you are staying as grounded as possible, because I feel like right now, for whatever reason, there's just so much going on in the field, in your energetic field, in the collective field as well, that it's very easy to be jumpy. Some of you may actually be jumpy, like, oh, or like tumbling all over yourself. This is the energy that I'm feeling, and that's what I'm working in. If you feel me all over the place, it's this energy. And you may, depending on your individual placements, this is not for everybody, but some of you have individual astrological placements in your chart that may be aspected during this time that may make you extra, one of the words the guide said is insincere. Okay, so some of you may come across as being insincere depending on your placements, but I was going to say you may make some flubs on details. You may not be as grounded and you may miss a lot of details. I don't know what placements would be aspected like that. It would be, to create that, it would depend on your chart and whatever, the angles and the degrees. But either way, not all of you. That little tidbit is for some of you, depending on what's happening. All right. I'm so interested in those of you who have Piscean placements. Okay. I don't know why, but I'm just feeling that. There's the Seven of Swords again. See? Knight of Coins. Ding, ding, ding. All right. These cards are the epitome of speak softly but carry a big stick. They really are. Let's see what they have to say. I'm getting some you know better energies surreptitiously here. It wants to turn around actually to be right side up, but you saw this card was blocking it. King of Cups. So I'm getting again that some of you may be dealing with a situation during this time. It could be a romantic one. It need not be, but I mean, think about the likelihood about it at this time. But it may be in your career. It could be in your family relationships where there's some entity, could be a person, could be whatever, that is, I gotta say, bullying their way around. Look at the bottom of this deck here. I've automatically saw it, the Devil card. There's an energy masquerading here as a King of Cups, right? So somebody who, you'll know this person, this is how you'll know this person or this energy. It's going to be somebody who is giving this idea that they have power. They have all the power. They know what they're saying. They are in a position. And see how the Devil card has the torch? But then you are here represented by the Empress, male, female, gender non-conforming, and you also have something mirrored there. But these are two different cards. If the Devil card was here with you, I'd be like, oh, you need to check yourself. But it's here. So this is somebody appearing as, and look, the eye is there, okay? So somebody's eye is appearing and it's on you or it's whatever. But Spirit is saying that they're stopping you from being able to step into this, you know better. So what Spirit is saying is they're going to pull you out. They're giving energy. Look, that's what they're doing. And they're giving that energy like the last spread where we had the, what was it? The Hierophant pulling the Queen of Pentacles out of this cycle. So what this is showing me is exactly what the guides keep telling you. You don't have to play in anything that you don't want to play in. If you don't want to get into a shouting match, then stop shouting. What do? You leave. Then the shouting match is over. You don't want to dance? Then don't dance. Takes two to tango. Okay? So if you don't want aggressive energy, cut your aggression. Spirit is saying you have to change your focus. If you don't want to be part of the group of people at work, I'm just making this up, I don't know, example, right? Well, I am channeling too, so we'll go with whatever comes through. But if you don't want to be part of a certain group at work that's doing and saying certain things, don't do it. Don't do it. Some people, they're like, I don't like when this word is said, but then they go around saying it too. If you don't like hearing it, stop saying it. Be what you want to see in the world. It's plain and simple. And Spirit, look, the universe is like, oh, you are okay with this energy because you're in there. Oh, no, you're not? You're leaving? Oh, okay, we got it. Well, back it up, boys. Beep, 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 beep. That's how that works. Right? It falls away. Energetically, you have to cut cords. So some of you may be needing to cut some cords, and look how they're showing that you're up here now. God bless. And look at the Eight of Wands, fast-moving communication, energy coming in is going here. Of course, it's going to go down. It cannot go high. If this is devil energy, it's going to go down. And look where it's going. You're away from you. There's no, it's encased. This is a box. So this is exactly what the guides were saying. What is the box that you're in? How did you get in there? How were you conditioned? Is it conditioning? Is it past lifetime stuff? Are you carrying victim consciousness? Are you trying to be a martyr out here? Are you secretly a masochist? Like, what's happening? When you get out of it, then guess what? And look at Spirit. Spirit's like, they're like, they're nodding. They're pouring a nice cup for this person and them. Because guess what? Guess who's coming in to have a nice discussion over here? I'm hearing golden retriever is what the guides are saying. That's for somebody here. But my mind was like karma, the karmic board, or what's going on, right? They're saying that when we, especially, and I'm going to say this to you guys because they're highlighting it, and you guys know if you're on this channel, then you have spiritual service, you have soul contract, right? When we, as this designation, like as those who have sacred service, whether you want to call it light worker, starseed, whatever, and that you don't even have to be employed to do that. How you express in your energy in the physical and the non-physical is between you and God. Okay, there are people who are just a regular librarian out here, but when you look at their soul, they're doing things, and even they're doing things here in the physical, so we can't judge, right? But Spirit is saying, when we get into this energy here, and this is this is not energy like, oh, you had a bad day, you argued, oh, you have a thing of arguing, okay, my bad, I was stressed at work, blah, blah, blah. This doesn't mean you're working with devil energies. You got to keep your mood up. But there's some people who have low energy, and also may have some entity attachments as well that brings their energy down a certain level. So when they could be within our group, right? And when we're down here, it's an occupational hazard. We run the risk of becoming, associated and locked into the box of the energies that we're trying to fight against and work through and transmute and dispel. And so when you start to vibe in that energy, what happens is that the energy misses the earth, in a sense. It's like not misses the earth, but the idea is here we are trying to give our positive energy to the earth, but if you're here, you're actually not helping the earth. That's kind of a better translation of that. Okay, so I'm seeing here that sometimes, this is another thing the guys were saying recently, another energy that was coming in for a bit. Sometimes discretion is the better part of valor. You see this Knight of Coins? It's a baby coin. Cute. It's a little coin. We always think the Knight of Coins is holding the Ace of Coins, so he's out here, right? But he's got this cute little baby coin. He's being discreet about it. He's just going to move forward. But look what he's carrying. Queen of Swords. Okay? And when he's carrying that Queen of Swords, the Queen of Swords is actually not all about cutting people down and this and that, the way he's using it. It's actually, about focusing on weeding along his path. So if he's got to walk down this path, he's got the cutlass, not to cut somebody down, but to cut anything that is in his way for the path that he's designed to follow. There we go. Look at what's left, right? We've got this Seven of Swords, confusion. Sometimes, and remember, there's nothing wrong with a sword. There's nothing wrong with a gun. There's nothing wrong with these things. They're inanimate objects. It's the person who wields it. Okay? It's the person who wields it. And so there's a saying, if you live by the sword, you die by the sword. But really, a better saying is, if you wield a sword, right, you will have to face the energy that you have wielded at some point. Maybe not this lifetime, but another lifetime, right? And so the whole point is, when that energy does come back to you, you hope that you used it to help pave the way for other people to move past, and not to instead hurt people. 43 minutes, 43 seconds. So Spirit is saying, use wisely is what they're saying. Think wisely. Look, we have the 2 coins, right? And then we've got the 2 cups. So Spirit is saying, be out here with the intention to be of a loving source and a loving space for people. Yeah. And that's what gets noticed, Spirit is saying. And Spirit is saying 44 minutes, 11 seconds. A lot of us, we keep making mistakes on ideas of what it means to be compassionate and what it means to be, I just keep seeing a clown, right? Oops, what is that? Okay, we'll pick that up. But Spirit is saying, no, what it really means is it's gotta be a balance. For example, you can be compassionate to somebody and still say no. you know, because if we're too compassionate, 43 minutes, 44 seconds, it becomes enabling. By the way, I just noticed today that, you know, the guides always call these times, they like show me the time. But when the video is published, the time, if you ever look to check the time, I'd be like, is she really on time? It's always off. That's because of editing. I add an opening and an ending to it, but the raw video itself, yeah. Knight of Wands. This is very, there's just showing like this doesn't even have to come in. It's Knight of Wands, we know is a fast moving energy, right? It's a fast moving energy. It comes in, it's a messenger, it delivers, but they want to like, and I notice I said they knew in the past tense. It didn't even have to come in. A lot of us don't have to even have these energies manifest for us. They'll only manifest if we haven't learned the lesson. We haven't put the boundary up. We haven't understood what it was all about. 45 minutes, 45 seconds, that's 9-9. But when you learn it, it's done, right? Of course, sometimes there's so much momentum that things just have to play out the way they are going to play out. But actually, Spirit is like, we can take you out of the situation at any time. But the question is, have you learned? Let's look at this. Queen of Coins. Aw, cute. Oh my God. Okay. I can't help it. Look how cute and snuggly that bunny looks. Oh. Yeah. They're like, but let's see its fangs. That bunny's about to nibble your nose off, right? Enabling. No. So I'm getting that for some of you, I'm getting street art here. Just to show you guys how in the details are so different, but we're reading the dynamics. They're saying for some of you, this is when it comes to your artistry, there's stuff that you're doing that you're holding back because, oopsies, you're afraid of what it's going to be about. Excuse me. So they're saying, let this be a warning for you. As you move forward, we see this Three of Coins, collaboration, working together, right? And it can also, as it is being shown here, indicate two sides of the coin. If you went through something recently or are going through something now, or will, I guess, because that's how energy moves, and it really bugs you or gives you a cause for pause, 47 minutes, 11 seconds. That's 11:11. If you take the time to look at it from both sides, see up, down here, inside out, to reflect and contemplate before you move forward, then you will be in a much better position when it's time to move forward, because the karmic wheel is going to turn on all of these situations. Nothing lasts forever, but the hope is that you've learned. Look at this, the Devil card, right? The hope is that you've learned. Knight of Swords. Ooh, look at this. These are two sides here. On the one hand, if you're in this space of reacting, being quick, Knight of Swords, quick to cut, quick to do this, quick to do that, you're moving in devil energy. But when you take a moment to sit, have love, compassion, golden rule kind of level stuff, right? Really stop, think, ask other people, am I in the wrong here? Is this in the wrong here? Did I not read the fine print? What's going on here, right? When you have that kind of inquiry, God sees the heart. That's what it is. God is seeing the heart in all that you do. So if you're out here thinking that you're not being seen, they're seeing it. We may not be able to know all the time how we are being looked at, how we're being assessed, right? But Spirit sees it, and that's why we have here the Ace of Swords versus the Knight of Swords attached to the Devil. So when we move on with the Six of Swords, remember when you move on with the Six of Swords, you've got that sword there, Knight of Swords, but you've got 5 other swords in there as well. And we remember the 5 of Swords. As I'm saying this, they're showing me this here. Remember the 5 of Swords was that victory card. So a lot of people will move on feeling I was right. I did what I had to do. I said what I needed to say. I said what I said. We see that a lot. We see that a lot now on t-shirts, all kinds of things on Instagram. Yeah, I said what I said. And it's almost like, yeah, I said what I said. I meant it. I spoke my truth. That's it. But at the end of the day, if you were not in your heart space, regardless of whether the issue was resolved or not, Spirit is not later looking at, did the issue get resolved? They're looking at, how did party A, party B, party C, party D maneuver individually? Your karma is your own, and other people's karma is their own. And I do have to say also, there is group karma as well. We see a lot of our nations playing that out. We see a lot of cultures playing that out. I will just say, from an energy reader's perspective, you'd be surprised how a lot of people who are having certain experiences on this planet now, and they have people that are their enemies or just whatnot, they were switched in another lifetime, and in this lifetime they're experiencing what they put out onto the planet, and vice versa. People are experiencing why those energies were put out before, right? So we really don't know. This is balance, and so we got to be careful. Be careful. Okay, let's pull these cards. I know it's like 50 minutes. God bless. I just heard telling lies, right? And then we also have to understand 50 minutes, 50 seconds, that as we judge ourselves and others, well, first of all, we will judge our neighbors as we judge ourselves, period. So if you're very judgmental to other people, you're judgmental to yourself. And if you're very judgmental to yourself, you're likely very judgmental to other people. You just may not see that, right? This is just, how it is. It's two sides of the coin. Energy is like, you have the energy of judgment in your field, for example. You have the energy of judgment. And so therefore you will express in both, right? And so the whole point is, when we put a little love in our heart, then we start to express that judgment through the lens of love, and it softens, okay? The family fable. Look at this. Look at this person freeing themselves from what it is that they've put into motion, whatever box they put themselves into. The calculated. The bull rider. Huh. It's interesting, because as I'm looking at this card, it's like sowing seeds. It's like somebody sowing seeds and moving on. But then they also have something here. So, but it's kind of giving me this energy of sometimes people, and ourselves included, look at the mirroring, yep. Sometimes people ride around. Is that Knight of Wings, Knight of Wands energy, riding around, the bull in the china shop, messing things up, doing all sorts of things. This is reckless energy. This is on a whim energy. I love the word whim, W-H-I-M. This is on a whim energy. Nothing comes really awesomely when it's on a whim. And no wonder this was the calculated in reverse. Look at this. This is on a whim. There's no thinking. 52 minutes, 52 seconds. 52, 7, 7, 7. Okay? So what happens is, we can look at this as somebody freeing themselves, but if somebody is in this energy, they could actually be just destroying and demolishing wherever they are, and then going on and not really thinking about the impact that they've left. Meanwhile, look at somebody there, right? Now, always remember that this dynamic, if you're seeing this, for example, outside of you, if you're like still in the space where you're blaming other people for doing things or not doing things, or whether it's, not doing the dishes and helping around the house all the way to this person did that, what you're doing is you're actually just playing out your own bipolarity is what they're saying, outside of you. It's magnified outside of you, because we will see in the outside world what is going on the inside world. So if you're bullying yourself, you're going to bully other people, and or you're going to see yourself as being bullied. Your job, our job, is to stop and look inside and see where we could be kinder to ourselves. Okay? And sometimes the way to do that, I don't know if I like this, but they're like taking the sword and they're cutting the bunny out. Oh no, not the bunny. See guys, I'm just like hardwired to hug things. But they're like cutting the bunny out. And then I see her the girl hugging me. So what they're saying is a lot of times we are putting the love that we should be giving to ourselves, 54 minutes, 44 seconds, onto us. Onto others, and which should be on us instead. There's nothing wrong with sharing the love, 54 minutes, 54 seconds, but we have to be able to give it to ourselves first. Oh, look at this Page of Cups. She's like, hey, I'm gonna be right back to love you, but I've got to go love myself first. He's like, hey, hold on a second. What? And it's gonna be okay because this cute little yellow bunny can go over here and into this warm house, right? That's cute. It's cute. Anyway, me enjoying the cuteness of this deck. Anyway, so during this time, let's sum up, because there's a lot going on in this reading. I just thank you. The guys are like, great job. Here's the Six of Wands, which I didn't even notice this whole time. The real victory. Thank you. Listen, 5 minutes, 50 seconds, 555. Turmoil under this moon in Sagittarius. There's a lot going on. There's a lot bubbling in the pot. A lot of us are out here dealing with things or being things or whatever, but may I just be the voice of reason over this loudspeaker in this plane that you are flying in, rather in this spaceship. Yes, because we're on a ship. I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, here are the words of wisdom. Sorry. And please know, I'm always slapping myself too. I'm in the collective with you, okay? And we're all learning out here. Listen up. What story are you telling right now? What's the problem? Is something going on with your roof? Is something going on in your household? Are you having a problem with your boss, your best friend, your husband, your wife, your kids, your dog? What's going on? And then just, that's not a slap, that's a detaching. Detach from whatever the story is. Thank you, outside forms, people, places, things, situations, ideas, for reflecting back to me the vibrational pattern that I have going on in myself with myself. Lawyer trying to undercut you, how are you undercutting yourself? Grocery person shouted at you about the bags, how do you shout at yourself? This guy at the post office disrespected you, how are you disrespecting yourself? Homeboy ghosting you, how are you ghosting yourself? Hello, this is what we're here for. And so going back to the very beginning when I said if you're in Gucci zone, where you're in the A+ zone, you're already at that moment like, okay, this is a conversation between me and me. Where are we at? What do I want to say to myself? What am I saying? What am I doing? How am I feeling? If you're not quite there yet and you're kind of still in one of the other letter grades, you're still telling the story of this person and my dad and my mom and this and that and grandma and blah, blah, blah. And the man did this, and like, listen, just do yourself a favor and skip to the part where you're looking for the dynamics. Whatever you say other people are doing to you, or you're seeing, or you take time out of your golden day to make a comment about because you saw it on TV, pause and look at yourself, because it's going on. And if you don't see it, that's because you haven't gone deep enough. You might need somebody to help you with the patterns. Of course, you know where I am, but there are also other ways you can get to the root of those patterns: meditation, drinking water, dreaming, talking to a friend who you trust and who has the eye, meaning they could see your pattern. They don't have to have even like any psychic premonitions or whatever, right? Because a lot of the time, people see our stuff. We can't see it, but they see it. So start turning inward. This is mandatory for Age of Aquarius, because if you don't know who you are, listen, they're going to eat you up alive out there in the next few decades. Look at how people are being chewed up and spit out on these platforms right now. Their lives, depression, all sorts of stuff, because they can't navigate this. And now we've got these deep fakes and chat GPT and all that. Listen, we out here, we have to get back to ourselves. Otherwise, you're going to be lost in this time. And as the guides have said, where should you be going? The heart, oh. Because when you're in your heart space, that will be the lens through which everything else is seen and things will fall into place. Because what's in the heart lens? It's the golden rule. Hello. Do unto others as you'd have done unto you. When you're in your heart space, you start asking, wow, I entered that space. I made actions. I took actions. I said things. I thought things. I was there. What did I leave behind? Did I leave a mess? Did I get into problems with somebody? Did I step out of character? Was I lazy? What were you being there? Who are you being in your family? Who are you being in your time alone? Have no time alone? That's a red flag. Okay? So it's important to really start turning an eye inward, because if you cannot, then how will you ever, my friends, learn how to use, once again, remember how to use this lovely Merkaba that you have to navigate these times, because you're going to need to move forward using your senses that are not physical. Because if you're thinking you're going to be able to rely on your eyes from now on, please, that's been over for decades, since before the internet was here, since movies and TV, like we've been being duped by our eyes for a long time, but now it's getting a lot more. Okay, so you're gonna have to start relying on your senses. Anyway, gots to go, trying to keep these videos short, but I'm not gonna be like, hey guys, can you guys nip it in the bud? Because if that's your bag, check out the Astro Reels. That's probably for you. God bless you guys. If you have any questions, you know where to find me. God bless you, and stay safe out there. Just kidding. Stay safe in there, in yourself, and then your outside will hopefully fall into line. Bye.